My name's Neville Lumb. I'm a chartered accountant, long-time qualified, 1957. I became a trustee of West Kirby Residential School about 8 years ago. I wasn't looking for a trustee or director position, but I was asked to do it by someone who I knew in business. There was a man of some influence in the area, and I didn't really like to say no. And also it's rather flattering to one's self-confidence if someone comes along and wants you to do a job. So from those points of view I felt I would do it, and I'm still doing it.
So how long have you been a trustee then, and why? Can you give me the reasons why you'd like to be a trustee?
Well, everyone has a chance once in a while to perhaps put something back into society. So I was very happy to do it from that point of view. And I've not regretted doing it. It's a well-run operation, and it hasn't been too onerous, but there are problems, and you have to deal with them, and you have to find solutions for them. So it's interesting from that standpoint.
So you're a trustee at West Kirby Residential. Can you tell me a little bit about the West Kirby Residential?
Well, as I said, it's a school with round about 100 pupils. Very heavy ratio of staff to pupils because of the difficult, troubled nature of some of the students. There are almost as many members of staff as there are pupils. It receives its funding from the fees which are paid by the local authorities. And it has to operate in a commercial way as well as in a scholastic way. It has to be commercially viable and has to keep sufficient reserves and so on.
So why do you think charities struggle to find the right trustees to help their organisations?
I think people often are busy with their own lives. They don't know what's involved. They may be a little reticent about putting themselves forward. It's very hard to know the many reasons. Obviously, when you try to attract younger trustees, they're busy with their own work and their own career. So you tend to find older trustees in the majority. If you can attract some younger people and fit the hours of the meetings in to suit their particular circumstances, then obviously that would be better, and it builds better for the future.
Okay. And what role does a trustee play? What kind of roles do you do yourself?
Well, you have to think of yourself as like a non-executive director. That's my own way of looking at it. Obviously I specialise in finance. But it's good to have a balance of trustees with different professional skills. Obviously for a school, if a trustee has an educational background, then that's very helpful. It's usually very helpful to have somebody with a legal background or industrial relations background. These are very good. Accountancy is obviously useful. You have to be caring, I believe. I proposed one of our board members for the position of vice chairman at the recent annual meeting, and I talked about her in terms of the 4 C's, and I think these are very good points which you need to be a trustee. And the 4 C's in her case were she was caring and compassionate, and she was also competent and committed. And I think those are the particular qualities which make a very good trustee.
Okay, and what kind of responsibilities do you have as a trustee?
Well, you have to hold the professional staff to account if they're not doing their job properly. You may have to be involved in selection of new senior personnel. I myself have been involved in analysis of senior persons' performances, particularly performance-related pay issues, which can be quite complicated. You just have to keep a watching brief, make sure that proper accounts are being prepared, that the school has been properly run. The particular school I'm involved with has a significant deficit on its pension scheme, which needs an awful lot of managing and is a constant headache. It was a final solar scheme that's now been closed, but the repercussions of it will last for many years yet.
So how time consuming is a trustee?
Well, often if you're a trustee you may be on a subcommittee, particularly if you're an accountant you tend to be on the finance committee. So I probably go to about 7 or 8 board meetings a year and a similar number of trustee finance meetings. You can have extra meetings if there's an Ofsted inspection, for example, you may have to go. There may be social meetings that you go to if the school's putting on a play or a performance, or as West Kirby has done, have visiting schools from overseas. They're quite big events. The mayor might come, or visit local dignitaries and so on. They need a presence of directors as well as teachers and professional staff. So you have to try and go to a fair number of meetings. The meetings generally last about 2 to 3 hours, so you have to be prepared to give a morning up on those occasions.
Okay. Can trustees really make a difference? Charities?
They can make a difference. I'm involved with another charity as head of an audit committee, and that has had some problems, and in my particular capacity I've had to go in and speak very strongly because I didn't produce accounts when they should have done. The accounts were blatantly incorrect when they were produced. The board was breaking up, people were resigning, and it impacted on the whole activity of the charity. And I think without the audit committee it would have drifted longer. And the problems are not resolved yet, but I have to be very strong at a board meeting and simply say this isn't good enough, we've got to do better.
Is it possible to resign at any time if you're a trustee?
Yes, you can resign, no problem.
Okay. And are there any legal implications if things go wrong?
Well, there's very similar legal implications to being a company director. You are, in some cases, a director. The heading trustee may well mean you're a director. So you could have implications at company law and under company law, under the Companies Act, these kind of problems. So yes, you have to act with diligence and care.
Do you enjoy your role as a trustee?
Yes, on occasions. Sometimes it can be troublesome, but you do get a degree of self-satisfaction from the very fact that you're doing it, and that people still want you to do it.
And what would you say to people who were thinking of becoming a trustee? Would you encourage them to take that step?
Well, yes, because there are many trustees who are short of suitable people, and they have to be found from somewhere, because these charities, these bodies are important. They're serving a very useful purpose. The professional staff who work in them can benefit from the extra knowledge that trustees have on many occasions. Many of them have had business careers or professional careers which have given them a lot of knowledge which is useful to the organisation.
So it's a variety of people who can actually bring their skills to the board, isn't it? It's not just finance or...
A skill mix is very useful. You can't always get it, but you can try for it. And you have to identify what it is as well, so you know what you're looking for. But, I mean, if you get 2 solicitors or 2 accountants or 2 personnel people, that isn't a problem as long as they're committed. The main thing is they need to be committed. You need people who are prepared to go to most of the meetings, or to go to all of the meetings that they're available for, because obviously people are on holiday sometimes, or they may have their own commitments on the particular day. But as a trustee, you have to think in terms of, if I can go, I should go.